In this video, we'll introduce 19 small-scale business machines, all available on Amazon or Alibaba, that can help you manufacture in-demand everyday products right from home. We'll cover what each machine does, how it can make money, approximate costs, potential profit margins, and even a marketing tip. Let's dive in. Plastic Injection Molding Machine. A mini plastic injection molding machine lets you create small plastic parts. Think combs, toy figurines, phone case components, kitchen utensil handles, hardware pieces, and so on, with professional quality. These everyday plastic items are cheap to produce from pellets and molds, yet can sell for a nice markup if you identify a niche. Desktop models are available for a few $1,000s. For example, a popular home-use model costs about $2,200. Plastic pellets cost pennies per part, so margins can be high once you've invested in a mold. Injection molding businesses often aim for 60% profit margins on direct retail orders. However, there's a learning curve in setting up the machine and perfecting the process, and you'll need to design or source mold tooling for each new product. Candle making machine. Candles are hugely popular in the US for home decor, ambiance, and gifting. A candle making kit helps you produce candles faster and more consistently than hand pouring. Small-scale melter and filler machines, some under $500 for basic models, can melt wax and pump it into containers or molds with precision. This means you can rapidly fill dozens of candle jars or create uniformly shaped pillar candles in one go, perfect for scaling up a home candle business. Candles have healthy margins. Handmade candles often see around 50% profit margin on average. For instance, a candle that costs you $5 in wax, wick, jar, and scent might retail for $10 or more. You can emphasize what makes your candles stand out. For example, natural soy wax, exotic fragrances, or local themes. However, the candle market is competitive. You'll need creativity in branding and fragrance to differentiate your products. Soap, making, and cutting equipment. Everyone uses soap. It's an everyday essential. And handcrafted soaps are perennially popular. You can step up from purely handmade methods by using small machines. For example, Alibaba lists mini soap production lines, including mixers, a plotter, extruder, and cutters, for roughly $2,000–$3,000. These compact machines can mix soap batter, extrude it into long bars, and cut it into neat individual soap bars. Soap can be very profitable. A soap business often expects around 40% profit margins. Capitalize on trends like vegan ingredients, unique scents, or skincare benefits. Oatmeal exfoliating soap, anyone? Market your soaps at local craft fairs, health food stores, or online through Instagram and Etsy. But you must comply with cosmetic product regulations, proper ingredient labeling, and no unproven health claims. Coffee bean roaster. Americans drink coffee by the gallon, and there's always room for another local coffee brand. A small roasting machine lets you roast green coffee beans into that aromatic, flavorful coffee that people crave every morning. You can find 1–2 kilograms capacity electric roasters on Alibaba for as low as around $1,800–$2,500, which are suitable for small batches. With such a roaster, you can buy raw coffee beans, which are much cheaper, and roast them to create your own blends or single-origin coffees. Coffee roasting can be lucrative. Roasted coffee beans often sell for $15–$20 per pound for gourmet quality. To market it, you can emphasize small batch roasting, unique flavor profiles, fair trade or organic beans if you use them. You can sell online. Coffee has nationwide appeal and ships well. Or supply local cafes, farmers markets, and specialty grocery stores. Tea bag packing machine. If tea is more your style, consider a tea bag packaging machine. This machine automates filling tea or herbal blends into tea bags, usually filter paper sachets, sometimes with string and tag. You can create your own line of tea, buying quality loose tea or herbs in bulk and packing them into convenient tea bags. Small semi-automatic machines that seal tea bags start around $5,000 for entry-level models. The markup on teas can be hefty. A box of 20 premium pyramid tea bags might retail for $10, while the actual tea inside might cost only $2 or $3. Emphasize qualities like organic wellness benefits or exotic ingredients. Sell through an online store, Etsy for handcrafted image, local gourmet shops, or even approach cafes to carry your tea. However, quality control is important. You need to ensure each bag has the right amount of tea and is sealed properly. Nothing worse than leaky bags. Honey stick packing machine. Honey sticks, also known as honey sticks or honey straws, are those handy single-serve tubes of honey, popular as natural sweeteners for tea or a quick energy snack. A honey stick filling machine allows you to buy honey in bulk and package it into these small straw-like packs. Entry-level machines for this purpose typically range from $2,000 to $5,000 depending on capacity. This business can be sweet indeed. Honey sticks often retail for about 25 cents each, for $4 in farm shops and cafes. Yet the honey inside is only worth a couple of cents. By buying raw honey from local beekeepers in bulk or wholesale wildflower honey, you support local agriculture and get a lower cost per pound. Honey sticks appeal to health-conscious consumers as an all-natural sweetener, parents, less mess for kids' snacks, and outdoor enthusiasts, easy energy on hikes. You can market packs of them to coffee/tea shops as an alternative to sugar packets, include them in gift baskets, or sell directly at farmers markets and online. Automatic dumpling maker. Love pot stickers or samosas? There are dumpling making machines that work by extruding dough wrappers, filling them with your prepared filling, and crimping them closed, spitting out ready-to-cook dumplings in seconds. Surprisingly, small models suitable for a home-based food business can start at around $700 for a manual, semi-automatic version, with larger electric models a bit more. Dumplings and similar savory pastries are in high demand, from Asian pot stickers and wontons to Indian samosas or Latin American empanadas. The ingredients, flour, water for dough, and veggies, meat or potatoes for filling, are quite cheap per piece. For example, a pork dumpling might cost you less 10 cents in raw ingredients, yet could retail for several dollars per dozen. If selling directly, you might charge $5 to $8 for a tray of a dozen homemade dumplings, which could be 50% plus profit after packaging and overhead. Restaurants or grocery stores might buy them wholesale at a lower price, but even then, margins are decent due to low ingredient cost. Rice cake making machine. This is a rather unique one. A puffed rice cake machine that makes those crispy rice or corn cakes often used as a bread substitute or healthy snack. You've likely seen round puffed rice cakes in supermarkets, like the Quaker brand. A small machine can pop rice or corn into cakes in a flash using heat and pressure. The process is basically, load a scoop of rice, corn grits. The machine compresses and heats it, pops. A circular cake is formed in seconds. These machines start around $3,500 for a compact model. With consumers looking for low-calorie and gluten-free snacks, rice cakes are a staple in many pantries. Rice and corn are dirt cheap as raw material. The value is added in the popping and packaging. A pack of 10 rice cakes might retail for $3 to $4. Your cost for that much rice is just a few cents. Even accounting for packaging and flavorings, margins can be high, easily 50% to 70%. Market them as a local, healthier alternative snack. You could supply independent health food stores or sell with custom flavors. Also consider packaging in eco-friendly bags to appeal to eco-conscious buyers. Mini potato chips production line. If you've ever fancied making the next great potato chip, there are small-scale potato chip machines that allow you to do just that. Typically, a mini chips line will consist of a peeler, slicer, fryer, seasoning tumbler, and a packaging machine, often sold as separate small machines you can combine. You can start with a few components and add on as you grow. The cost can start around $6,000 for a basic set of individual machines. Each machine might be a few hundred to a couple $1,000s. Americans love potato chips. It's a multi-billion-dollar market. A unique homegrown chip brand, maybe using local potatoes or unique flavors, can find a niche locally. Potato as a raw material is very cheap, for example, 50 cents per pound or less in bulk. 1 pound of potatoes turns into roughly a quarter pound of chips after frying. Water loss. That quarter pound of chips can be bagged into, say, 2 2-ounce bags that sell at $2 to $3 each. So, from 50 cents of potatoes, you get $4 to $6 in revenue. Of course, you have oil, seasoning, packaging costs, but you're likely still looking at 50% profit margins or better if you price and manage efficiently. Digital embroidery machine. These machines allow you to add high-quality stitched designs to hats, shirts, jackets, bags, and more. A single-head computerized embroidery machine, often with 10 to 15 needles for multicolor designs, is a fantastic business machine for custom apparel. Modern models, suitable for small business, start at about $2,500 for entry-level commercial units. With one, you can produce embroidered logos on caps for local businesses, monogrammed towels, custom patches, and personalized gifts. The margins in embroidery can be excellent. The thread and backing materials cost only cents, and the apparel blanks, plain hats, shirts, etc., can be bought wholesale fairly cheap. For example, a plain cap might cost you $3. You embroider a custom logo on it with perhaps 50 cents of thread, and businesses or teams will happily pay $15 to $20 for that custom cap. Industry folks note profit margins around 50% or more are achievable, and some specific jobs, like patches, can have margins as high as 90% because the material cost is so low compared to the price of custom work. Recycled newspaper pencil machine. This is one of the eco-friendliest ideas on our list. A machine that turns waste paper, like old newspapers, into pencils. Instead of wood, these pencils have a tightly rolled paper casing around the graphite lead. This machine typically cuts strips of paper, applies glue, wraps them around a pencil lead, and then dries them into a hard pencil. The equipment for a small-scale operation starts around $4,000. Some listings show $1,000 to $3,600 for simpler units, but a full mini production line with a dryer might be a bit more. Regular pencils are cheap, but specialty or eco-friendly pencils can fetch a higher price, especially when sold to gift shops, school fundraisers, or promotional product companies. Your raw material cost is almost zero if you're using recycled paper you get free. If a machine can make, say, 30 to 60 pencils a minute, in an hour you have 1,800 plus pencils. Even if you sold them at just 10 cents each in bulk, which is roughly wholesale for plain pencils, that's $180 gross per hour of production. Cardboard box perforator. This machine doesn't produce an item for end consumers, but rather creates a useful packaging material. A cardboard shredder takes waste cardboard, like all those Amazon boxes lying around, and shreds or perforates it into a mesh-like sheet that can be used as packing filler, an eco-friendly alternative to bubble wrap or peanuts. Essentially, it turns old boxes into cushioning material that businesses can use to ship products safely. Small tabletop models start at roughly $1,000 new, and they can process decent volumes of cardboard per hour. Waste cardboard is free. Often you can get people to give it to you just to haul it away. The output product, packing filler, has value. Companies currently pay for packing materials, So if you price yours just below the cost of, say, bubble wrap, they'll gladly switch since yours is eco-friendly and cheaper. Since your raw material cost is negligible, margins can be high, 70% plus. The key is volume and finding steady buyers. Small manufacturers, craft sellers, warehouses, etc. However, this isn't a glamorous consumer-facing business. It's more B2B and recycling service-oriented. Die-cutting machine. Every physical product needs a package. This machine allows you to make custom cardboard boxes or packaging inserts. Essentially, it uses a cutting die, like a metal cookie cutter for cardboard, to cut and crease sheets of cardboard into boxes. Small manual and semi-auto die cutters, often called die cutting presses or carton cutters, start around $3,500 for a decent one. Custom boxes have high margins because clients pay for the design and convenience of small quantity. A box that costs you 20 cents in cardboard and maybe 5 cents in wear and tear could easily sell for $1 or more to the client, especially when printed or uniquely shaped. Short-run digital printing on boxes, using a separate printer, or even just custom stamps, combined with your cutting, can fetch premium pricing. Your investment is in the dies, which can cost from $100 to a few hundred depending on complexity, but that can be built into the client's fee. Herbal cigarette filling machine. This intriguing machine produces cigarettes, but not the tobacco kind. It's designed to fill cigarette tubes with herbal mixtures, tobacco and nicotine-free, for those who want a smoking cessation aid or just a non-tobacco smoking experience. In places like India, herbal cigarettes made of tulsi, mint, or other herbs have been used to help wean off nicotine. A small machine for this purpose starts around $2,500 for semi-automatic models. Traditional cigarettes are cheap to make but heavily taxed. Herbal cigarettes, on the other hand, can be sold at premium since they're more novelty therapeutic. The key is to avoid implying any health claims that could get you in trouble. You can market them as aromatic smoke, stress relief smokes, or simply as a novelty. However, regulations can be a bit gray. While there's no tobacco, selling anything intended for smoking might attract scrutiny. Tube filling machine. This is a machine that fills semi-liquid products into tubes, like toothpaste-style squeeze tubes. Small semi-automatic tube fillers suitable for a startup can be found in the low thousands of dollars, around $3,000 to $5,000 for basic. They work by holding an empty tube, filling it with a measured amount of product, and then sealing the tube's end. Typically, beauty and cosmetic products have large markups. For example, filling a 2-ounce tube of hand cream might cost you $1 in ingredients and packaging, but it could retail for $5, $10. That's up to 80 to 90% gross margin, which covers marketing and overhead, but still often leaves a healthy profit if you can sell volume. However, there's a regulatory aspect. Cosmetics and foods are regulated, FDA for labeling, possibly requiring a cosmetics manufacturing practice or a food kitchen license. Disposable paper tableware. This machine, or set of machines, produces paper tableware. Items like paper plates, bowls, or even paper cups. Given the push to replace single-use plastics with biodegradable options, making paper-based disposable dishes can be a timely business. A small paper plate press, for instance, can be found for a few $1,000s, often around $4,000 for a semi-automatic unit. Disposable plates are low-cost items, but when you produce them yourself, you could undercut wholesale prices or pocket the margin. For example, if it costs you 5 cents to make a plate and you sell it for 10 cents, that's a 100% markup. Paper reel stock and coating material are your main inputs. Both are relatively inexpensive when bought in bulk. Start local. Approach party supply stores, catering services, or restaurants with your product. Emphasize environmental benefits, e.g., our plates are made from recycled paper, and are fully compostable in 60 days. If true. Nail screw making machine. This machine allows you to manufacture fasteners like common construction nails or small screws from metal wire coils. These machines automatically cut, shape, and head the wire into uniform nails or screws. You can find compact models on Alibaba, starting around $3,500 to $6,000, depending on the type and size of fasteners produced. Raw wire is relatively inexpensive, and thousands of nails or screws can be made daily. If you sell wholesale, example by the pound or box, your margins may range from 25 to 40%, but higher if you offer specialty or custom-sized fasteners. However, you'll need access to bulk wire and possibly a polishing drum to finish the nails. The machine is noisy and creates metal shavings, so a workshop or garage setup with proper safety gear is necessary. Finally, when choosing a machine, consider your interests, local market needs, startup budget, and any regulations. Each idea has its pros and cons, but all have the potential to create real value and profit. By starting small and focusing on everyday essential products with a unique twist, you can attract customers who are eager to support independent makers.